Welcome to the Mitten Music Podcast. A couple of guys just chilling, hanging out, talking about Michigan music, all the things that make up our Michigan music community. It is the Mitten Music Podcast. Thanks for joining us. We have a great episode lined up for you right now. Welcome to the Mitten
Music.
Oh, I was going to think of another word besides music. Live. We changed our name. We are now the Mitten. Oh, man. What's another thing like music?
We're the radio network.
We're the Mitten Photographs. Okay. We're the Mitten Art.
All right.
Anyways, start over. Take two.
So we got this thing live. We've tried this a few times.
For sure.
And I think we might got it nailed down. We'll see. This is another final trial.
I think better. I think we've made improvements that are up in our presence a little bit.
Yep.
Small tweaks here and there that add up to a lot of stuff. And I think we have a lot more, right? We got a lot more stuff we want to do.
Well, yeah. I mean,
next year, do you want to save that for later?
Next year, I think what we've talked about is doing a lot more of these live events and having them once a month at least.
Mm-hmm.
If not more, little smaller things that go on. But try to hit more interviews live.
And
I'm putting you up to the challenge, Ryan.
It's great. You're right. There's a couple things that I would really like to figure out to make it a little nicer. But yeah, I'm excited. I think, like growing up listening to the radio, but maybe before you could buy CDs or tapes or whatever.
Yeah, right.
You listen to the radio, right? I always thought it was so cool that I'm listening to the song on the radio. This guy live is announcing the song that I like. And there's thousands of other people in my area that I live, they're listening to it right then too. Everybody that's listening to it is listening at the exact same time. And then it kind of got like, as radio was dying out, streaming services picked up. So like, the 2010s and we're getting into there. And there's just like that kind of thing. It didn't disappear, but
right.
Obviously there's still terrestrial radio out there, right?
Right.
But that feeling never came back to me with anything else, unless you go into a concert. Like, all people here are seeing what I'm seeing live right now. We're hearing,
right? Because
but with live streams, it's like, hey, even though we're talking, we're not like playing music, but we're talking about something in real time where other people are paying attention potentially. Right. So it just kind of brings back that listening to the radio to me.
Yeah, and it is kind of a dying thing, right? Yeah. Not a lot of live. I mean, you got live TV, but outside of that. Even radio today, even a terrestrial radio, is not a lot of it's not even live.
Well, like live TV to me is, I probably watch 3 hours of live TV a year.
Wow.
There's nothing I watch live. It's all movies, shows, streaming service stuff. Maybe the Super Bowl is something I'll watch live, and like maybe a couple football games or a sporting event I'll catch a little bit of. But other than that, like presidential debates, like nothing else I watch. I have to, it's hard to, like, where do I watch this thing that's live? I don't even know where it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
To figure it all out.
It's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, we want to do more live. And as you were talking about earlier, I think we're at the end of the year. So this is kind of our wrap of the year. We've done a lot of great interviews. We do have a couple for those listening live. We do have a couple episodes still dropping, one tomorrow.
Right,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And we are representing, ironically, honestly, we didn't talk to each other.
I was going to text you and say, dude, what shirt you wearing tonight? So I don't wear the same one.
I almost wore a Bronson arm.
You should have.
And then I switched to this. I'm like, we're releasing the Rebel Eves tomorrow. So
I just did it because this is the only shirt I have that I haven't worn on the Mitten Music yet, I think.
Yeah, and I hadn't worn this either. So yeah, it made sense.
I do like that show. And I have to mention this. So we went and saw the Rebel Eves, right? We were getting merch. We'll talk about that whole show later or sometime tonight. They had the merch up there. I saw this shirt. I was like, oh, that's cool. My daughters like that. And then I saw that shirt and I went, did the same artist that did the Patty Purcell shirt that I have do that? Because it looks like the same artist did it. Yep. I think the guy, it was Bob at the merch table.
The answer was yes.
The ultimate answer is yes. At the moment, when I asked the merch table, they're like,
Well, they were both. There was a few folks there at the merch table, and they were saying, yeah, it does look, because they had seen Patty's shirt too.
Oh, so they just didn't know. I wanted someone to say, oh yes, and this is the artist's name, like someone for sure.
Right.
But then we talked to the ladies later, and sure enough,
yeah. It was awesome.
They said they stole the artist from Patty and got their own shirt. But you know what? If I was Patty, I'd be like, that's cool.
Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, Rebel Eves dropping tomorrow. Check it out.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, that was fun. That was at Fam Grove.
That was
we talked to Accidentals.
Traverse City.
Yeah.
French Valley Vineyard.
Yes.
French Valley Vineyard in Traverse City. It's just French Valley. Just sounds like a
doesn't
Californian thing. Sounds like a French thing. Sounds like a salad. It doesn't make me think of a vineyard or Traverse City, but I don't own it, so it doesn't matter. What I think.
And it was a cool place.
It was an awesome place. I would definitely take my wife there if like the next time I go to Traverse City to do some tasting. They had a cool spot. It was like in the middle of nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
But the like tasting room, is that what you call it?
Yeah, the tasting room. We didn't really go through that.
No,
much.
but it looked cool.
Yeah, it did. And they even had some outdoor seating.
Mm-hmm.
But the barn was really cool.
They had this. You see this old barn, you're like, oh, some janky old ass barn in the back there. Oh no, friends! It looks like that on the outside. And the inside, it's all redone and it's freaking badass. And they had bands playing in there that night. They did such a cool job. I thought of.
Yeah.
They had a tent outside. They'd have a band playing a tent, and then when they were done, they had the band that was going to play in the barn already kind of setting up. So they kind of picked up really quickly. Enough time for people to shuffle between the two, and they kept doing that, juggling them all night. Oh, that was brilliant.
It was so cool. It was very cool.
Good job, Fam Grove team.
Yeah.
French Valley Vineyard. And we have to say thank you to French Valley specifically for letting us use their office.
Yeah.
One of their offices in there. We kind of moved all their stuff out of the way, and we said, we swear we'll put everything back just the way we found it.
Yeah, we took pictures, make sure.
Yeah.
And then Amber, obviously, thank you for putting together that whole
what an
event. But
angel.
obviously, having us there, we really appreciated that, and being able to. And it was just run so smoothly. We had all the bands came through timely. Everything worked out perfect. It was great.
I wonder if she even put much effort into making it easy on us. I don't think she realized how. I think it's just what she does. Like she's good at this stuff, and it was like not a big deal. I was like, dang,
Right.
you like
But
set
she's
us.
good at what she does.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I've heard that from other over this year. Like I've heard about her,
Yeah.
but didn't put two and two together. And so we started talking about her. I was like, oh yeah, now I get who you are. On Facebook, there is a group called Mitten Music. That's not us, but it's a Facebook group of people in Michigan that are into music. And she posts in there all the time. She's answering questions, helping people all the time. She'll like post. I saw her post a couple times. Hey, I'm looking for a band to fill a slot at a show. It's like in 2 or 3 weeks. We had someone drop out. So if any of you bands out there want, hit me up. I bet you she fills stuff up like that.
I bet.
She is a rock star.
But you saw the Rebel Eves and Accidentals, because we never really saw the Rebel Eves that night because we were so busy interviewing.
It was like
Fam Grove.
a couple minutes.
Yeah, we saw
and it wasn't a great. I mean, we could see what was going on, but yeah,
right. We got to see the Accidentals play.
Yeah,
But then you got to see them again.
I did. It was only because I said it on the Sonic Coast a million times. November 23rd, Lansing, Michigan, at Gray Wall Hall.
Is that how you pronounce it?
So I looked up because I was getting up. I was calling it Grawall.
Yeah,
because that's what it looks like. Whatever I said, how do you pronounce Grawall Hall at 224 in Lansing, Michigan? And it came back Graywall, and it spelled it out Graywall. So Graywall is what it told me.
Wait. Who told you?
The internet. No. It was some sort of video of something.
Oh.
It was something that was pre-done.
Okay.
It wasn't an AI thing. No.
It wasn't like a translation. Okay.
Well, you know what? Now I gotta.
Rabbit hole.
No, but like, how do you Does anybody know?
I always thought it was gruel.
Watching?
I always thought it was gruel hall.
I thought it was Grawall. Grawall.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
We always
Grawall.
have trouble with pronunciation.
Yeah, and we're never on the same page either. That's
No, we're
funny.
not. No. Speaking of that, while you were looking that up, I just saw on socials tonight, Canon Wren, which that's somebody who we didn't pronounce her name right early on. She's learning the piano.
Kanan. We were calling her Kanan.
I think we said,
A couple different things. Yeah.
I think she even said somebody had called her canine.
Yeah, it was like, well, that's a little.
Yeah, it's a little much.
Yeah,
but she's learning the piano. So just a little tidbit there.
So this says, so maybe it was the AI thing. It does say Gray Wall.
I don't trust it until
Fair.
somebody
I don't blame you.
that owns it or somebody that
Downtown Lansing website says Grow Hall 224 pronounced Gray Wall.
Gray Wall.
That was from Downtown Lansing Inc. So if I am wrong, I am pointing my finger at downtownlansing.org.
So it wasn't like a translation by the. It's actually
one
like
I
an
just
article. It's like an article.
Correct. Yeah, that's where I found it, and that's what I just found it again. But the AI did also say the same thing.
Yeah, but I trust that.
I hope.
Gray Wall.
I mean,
Gray Wall.
This is Downtown Lansing.
And that place hasn't been
publication.
around that long. I think they've been around over a year.
Oh, dude, it was nice. I thought it was some like old place, or I thought it was like on Michigan State's campus or something.
No, it's like downtown.
No, it was cool. It was so cool. You walked in, it was not terribly big, but it was deep in back, but they had, a mezzanine, certain ticket prices were up there. Standing room only, where you could just stand in the back.
Yep.
And then there were seats, and then the first 2 rows were like $100 or whatever. I think I got seats for us, not
On the floor?
No, yeah, on the floor, not the first 2 rows. Or take it back, the first 5 rows were reserved for like pricier tickets.
Yeah.
But we got there in time, and we got like the 6th, 7th row or something like that.
Nice.
And we didn't need to. We could have got standing room, it would have been just fine. Like standing room, they were standing right next to me, and there was tables, and it was like there was really no bad spot. So you don't need to pay extra at Gray Wall Hall.
Sweet.
In my opinion.
Well, I'm thinking about going in March to, I don't know, are you familiar with Stephen Wilson Jr.?
Stephen Wilson from Porcupine Tree?
No, I don't think so. No.
He's not a junior.
No, this is Junior.
Oh, is he from America? I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think he's British.
He's from America, yeah.
Okay. No, then I don't know Steve.
Yeah.
Like Beach Boys?
No, this guy, he's like
Brian Wilson.
No, not Brian Wilson. No. Stephen Wilson Jr. Check him out.
Okay.
I put it.
You're
as
pretty confident. You
folk-
think I'm gonna like
folk
him.
rock. I don't know. Some people like. There's some feel of Springsteen's voice there, but not that much. There's also a little bit of country feel. It's good stuff. He just covered "Stand by Me," which in the version is, I say,
Really good.
awesome.
I will check that out.
So anyway, I'm looking to go there, and I was curious about how that venue was. So
Sweet.
good show.
Oh man, it was awesome. Her name's dropping me at this moment. The percussionist that they had at Fam Grove, she was there. So we walked in. I had both girls and my daughter. Me and my daughters had this shirt on.
Okay.
We walk in. The merch booth is right there. The first band in the corner closest to us, and I walk in and I see Grace, Katie, and Linklater. Jillian. Sorry, Jillian. For some reason, anyways, apologies. They were standing right there. We walk in, and they all just smiles lit up on their face because they just saw these couple people walking with a Rebel Eve shirt, and then I think they realized it was me. Like, oh, you came. That was great.
Yeah.
Then my wife bought the same shirt when we were standing right there. We talked to them. They met my daughters. It was a freaking blast. They were the sweetest ladies. But yeah, it was cool. Sat down. It sounded awesome.
Good.
Yeah, there was nothing bad about it. It was a long, I want to say, was it 3 or 4 bands played? It was a long night, several hours. I was very impressed with my girls. Plus, it was the hour drive there and all that stuff.
Right.
We didn't get home until 12:30, so that was good. But yeah, it sounded fantastic. I would definitely go see a show there again. Yeah, I liked it. It was good.
Nice. Good stuff.
Have you ever seen a concert at Max in Lansing?
I have not.
We talked about them quite a few times, a year or two ago, and I think in college I went there one time. I think, and a band just happened to be playing, but I'm not positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was way better than Max, if what I'm remembering.
Well, yeah.
is
I mean, I
correct.
think it's got that more of that. Well, how many people do you think it holds?
400,
Okay.
400 ish, somewhere in that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Good intimate show then. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would call it intimate.
Yeah.
If I did to compare it to anywhere else, man, obviously a lot bigger than Midtown GR.
Mm-hmm.
But it had the vibe a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. No, it's
It's
kind
kind
of
the mezzanine. I mean, it's smaller than like a GLC. You didn't get the mezzanine on the floor, but it's a lot smaller.
I want to say it was bigger than the pyramid scheme, but now that I'm looking back, maybe not so much because I think they can hold like
Yeah,
1,000.
No,
Not 1,000. Under
they're
1,000.
more like I think they're more
700 or
like
something.
4 or 5,
Okay.
600.
Then it might have been comparable to the pyramid. It was just set up a little bit
Yeah,
differently.
yeah.
But yeah, chairs like in the audience area, so that was kind of cool. I guess that's per artist, if whether they want seats or just all standing.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, if anybody's commenting, I need to figure out how to see that. So I'm looking around for it.
No, there's a couple people watching, so I don't see any comments yet.
I just wonder if they're not auto refreshing. Maybe they are. I don't know.
So you saw that show.
I did.
I have had a busy couple months seeing a lot of shows. I feel like it's been great.
Folks, I just told you about one show I saw since mid-October. And Jeff spanked me.
Yeah, but I hadn't been hitting a lot of shows earlier in the year. So
Yeah, and I felt like I did.
up, yeah.
This summer I saw tons.
But I saw some good shows.
Yeah, you did.
So I saw May Irwine at the Wealthy Theater.
Yeah.
Never seen a show there. I've seen comedy there and some other things, but that was good. And I really enjoy her, and it was just a relaxed environment. Trying to remember the opening act. He's from up north, and I'd never heard of them before. Charlie Miller Band. Very interesting band. Like opening song was like completely different than what I saw like throughout the rest of the show. It was just they were cool. They were a really cool band. And I enjoyed that. But so I saw them. Then I went
Charlie Miller Band.
Then I saw the Cosmo Knights.
Yeah, the Cosmo Knights.
And that was just after Halloween. So they had a Halloween costume party. A lot of people dressed up. That was cool. There was 4 bands that played, or groups that played that night. I'm telling you, I'm glad I went, though, not only for the Cosmo Knights, but I saw Short Panic. I'm sad to say that was their last show.
Oh.
But I got to see them play.
Did you talk to them?
I did not get a chance to talk to them, but I'll tell you, they are awesome. They're so fun. The saxophonist.
Sasquatch?
Oh, my gosh.
Sasquatch?
It wasn't Sasquatch. No, this guy, but he was so good. And, they had a lot of instruments and really cool group.
Like
But
joking
it was
around with the audience?
not so much that. I mean,
Just being playful, like while they're playing or something?
yeah, but just the music was just, I don't know, it was really, really good. But they're all going kind of separate. I think a couple of band members are going to different locations, and they're not going to be really.
Do you think people know when they bought tickets to it that it was going to be the last show, or did they? Like,
I think a lot of people
surprise?
did.
Yeah.
And there
You might not have,
There was a
but-
big file. You could tell there was a big Short Panic audience there, definitely. So they knew it was the end. But that was cool. So the Cosmo Knights played Ben Bailey and Timmy and the Heavy Chevys. So I got to see all those guys play. But yeah, I would say the highlights were definitely Short Panic and the Cosmo Knights. And they put on a good show.
Yeah, I can
entertaining,
only imagine. Folks,
energetic.
you had to have seen our Cosmo Knights episode. You had to have seen the makeshift music video that we recorded right here in the basement.
Yes.
You had to have seen that. And I'm not going to lie. I thought that was one of the coolest things we've gotten to
Very
do.
cool, yes.
One of the coolest things. Those dudes were awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
They treated us
If
well
you
that
haven't
night.
seen it, go check it out. It's on our website or YouTube. And the video, they played 3 songs. And it was like, what I thought was awesome. They took basically one take.
Yeah, right?
Boom. Get right into
They
it.
knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
See, they don't have problems like I have when you're trying to prepare for something and you just can't get it perfect. You just get all pissed off and just slow down. You can't get it done. That's me. They are not that at all.
No.
They freaking just showed up, threw stuff together, did it, and guess what? It sounded fan-freaking-tastic. It
was great.
We got lucky because we had to borrow some I had extra microphones. Luckily, I had some condenser microphones. We were able to mic up some of the instruments, so it actually
It worked
sounded
out really good.
I
Yeah.
thought it sounded pretty dang good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It was. Nice
Electric
job.
Moon Studios, watch out. Sunday,
Dogtown?
Dogtown Studios, watch out. What's Joel Ferguson's Sunday Walk Park?
Planet Sunday.
Planet Sunday, watch out. Joel Ferguson, I'm
But they
coming
don't
for
do-
you.
But here's the thing: Electric Moon and Planet Sunday, they don't do videos.
It doesn't matter. You're right. Just
saying,
Dogtown.
They're doing audio only. So.
Fair enough. Always got to ruin my fun.
We can come back and talk about a couple of other shows later, but what I was going to mention earlier is, so we've talked about all these things. 2024, Okay, let me take a step back. So we've been doing this 3 years. It's the third final. This wraps up 3 years.
Yep, January 2021.
And we've mentioned this a couple times. First year, I call that an EP.
Yep.
Okay. I would, and I want to show
I was going to call it demos.
I'm going to show you some things later. I've got some things to wrap up our seasons or imagery. But so just press record. Let's just get it going. I'm naming that's my first gut title.
I like it.
EP.
I like it. Just press
Season
record.
2,
These nuts.
sophomore mix.
Sophomore mix.
We're mixing it up. Still an EP.
Okay.
We had
still an EP. Okay.
We had a few more guests,
Yeah,
I think, but it wasn't like
I totally agree.
it's smaller, right? We didn't have a ton.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we had a lot of interviews.
Did we?
I mean, we had
I felt like we
two
had
episodes a month.
all year long.
By far the biggest. Before it was basically one a month, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we fit in a few extras.
Yep.
And most of those were interviews. So at least 20 interviews. It was a fun year. And we also did a lot of things. Like you talk about the music video. We've been messing around with video the whole year.
Yeah.
Tweaking. You've been doing a great job, like messing around with different things. Okay, how are we going to do audio? Today we've got better lighting. All these different things. It's constant. Like we went to Sounds of the Zoo. That was different. We did an on-site, like live type of thing.
That was a freaking riot.
It was so cool. So I call this year, this is our first LP, Experimentation.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
That's perfect. I love that.
Because that's all it
Good
was
job.
this year. Now, next year, we'll see what we call it. But we're wrapped up this year, basically. So we experimented a lot.
I do feel like this year gave us enough that I not only did I think we did really good. Like every year, you want to.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you're better than last year. I mean, every episode, you hope you're a little bit better. Every interview, you hope you're a little bit better. Whatever. But this year I was like, I was very happy. I thought we did way better last year, but it kind of hit a point where it's like, man, we made so much progress and like we got more organized and there's more stuff to do. It's like pushing me to want to do it more instead. Like if it didn't work out so great this year, it could have been working us the other way. Like,
Right.
This is a drag or whatever. But it's like, we love doing this crap, right?
And we've discovered so much more music this year. And then,
Yeah.
so when we look at next year, when we're like, okay, who are we going to interview? We've been doing a lot of talking, trying to plan some of that out. It's kind of hard because there's a lot of people we could talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at some different ways to handle that. Maybe some shorter, condensed things where we can hit.
Or Jeff's just going to tell people, no, we can't interview you.
Well,
Because I can't do that. I can't do that. I can only say
there'll
yes.
be a little bit of that. There will be a little.
I
bit
can
of no.
only say yes. I cannot say no.
I'll play bad cop.
It's a problem. Yes, please be the bad. Oh.
I don't know if bad guy's the right word, but yeah.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But yeah, we are doing some other things though.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do want to mention. So this year, I don't have the official numbers with me, and I will send a post out at some point. Weekly music or new music this year. We put out a weekly playlist every single week for the entire year. The beginning of the year was more like 5 or 6 songs. 3/4 of the year was 7 songs. The rest of the way.
Yeah.
So we had over 300 songs, new songs, and I think if my numbers are right, if I remember correctly, like 180 artists, something like that.
Boo, yeah, baby.
And that's not everything.
Right?
But there's new music coming out every week, and there's a new artist that reaches out to us, maybe every week, every couple weeks, says, "Hey, you guys want to play it?"
We are hearing from people who are like, obviously, when we get that kind of email, we're like, "Oh, this is a band."
Right.
We're like, "Holy cow, I've never heard this name before."
Right.
It's like, how else do you like? I love it. It's like I almost feel like we have a special privilege now.
Yeah, it's awesome. Get to hear about what's going on.
Heck yeah.
So anyway, that a lot of new music. But next year, I would like to switch that up and not do it weekly, but do a monthly playlist.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to try to do a daily song of the day.
Ooh.
That's going to put a lot of pressure on
That's
trying to do that.
ambition.
It is.
Unless you could plan it out like a week at a time and do it. I mean, yeah, you would.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we know the songs. It's just a matter of posting them.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Social media, man.
I know.
Freaking
Listen,
sucks.
hey, TikTok, might not be around, so we might be able to eliminate that.
Yeah,
one.
that's going to get banned. Like, it was going to get banned. No, it's not going to get banned. It's going to get banned now. Nah, not anymore. Oh, now it might get banned again.
I know.
Crazy.
We'll see.
All for money. I think the original.
It's really to protect the.
Well, I think the first one or two times it was getting banned, that's why it was. I think this time it's not because of that anymore. It's because of money.
Yeah, exactly.
But just my opinion. Yeah, social media, you can suck it.
But you know what? That's where people have found us more than anywhere else.
I did a random live stream by myself
a
couple weeks ago and showed off a couple of our signed albums from some of the bands we interviewed and talked about it for a few minutes, just because I wanted to do something like that. But again, earlier I was like, if I can't get it perfect, I get frustrated and then I just don't do it. Even though like I'm like 98%, like, or no one would ever notice what I, don't I dislike about it. They're not going to see that. They're oh, that's so cool. So I just did it. Turned out awesome. We got some good feedback. You made some good. You mentioned a couple cool things, so I think I'm going to tweak that a little bit and do that just as me for just something, a quick little thing once a week. But talking about the bands and specifically, I mean, at some point I'll go through all the records we have signed, but we have a bunch of other stuff. We had CDs, we've been given signed matchbooks, postcards,
you can show off
stickers, t-shirts. Oh my gosh, dude. I have so many more t-shirts than records. Mm-hmm. Booyah, baby.
Definitely.
That's my new saying now, I think.
Booyah, baby.
Booyah, baby. My 6-year-old son says that. Runs around the house. Booyah, baby. So it's just in my head. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm so excited for next year.
I am too. It's gonna be good. What was I gonna say about? Speaking of, we talked about TikTok and all these. So Spotify. Now it's give or take. A lot of people like it. Some people, think it's promoting, a bad thing because of, they don't pay the musicians, which I totally agree.
Yeah. Right.
But it is a thing that a lot of people get excited about at the end of the year and say, hey, what did I listen to? And for bands, it's how many people listen to them, or how did their
like their Wrapped shows that to them, or are they like listening to all the people talk about their raps, be like, well, man, we got lots of people listening to us.
No, it tells them who's their highest listeners. Have they grown?
We need to have a band show us their Wrapped from Spotify. I want to see what it looks like.
I haven't seen too many this year, but last year was a huge time.
They were posting it. Okay, cool.
And some have done that this year.
Maybe I didn't notice that last year.
Yeah, so they'll say like how many streams they had for the year, what's their increase of listeners or stuff like that. I even saw I think it was Chris Kranick from Overdrive. He posted something about, hey, I think it was him. Maybe it was another band. Something about, hey, if you're the 1%, top 1% listener of that band, then let us know.
I think that was Chris.
And then we'll send you something, I think.
That's
kind of cool.
Either you told me that or I saw it too.
Yeah, maybe you saw it.
That was a cool idea. That's something that this sent him might be an empty envelope. But they sent him something, so
maybe it's signed.
What if they get like 10,000 people? Yeah.
There you go.
It's a lot of stuff.
So how did you pay attention to your raps?
I did. I remember last year my rap was Tool and Chevelle were like Tool's the one, Chevelle was two, like the band overall that I listened to.
Yep.
This year I think Chevelle was number 2. Who else? Tool was like 3.
Okay.
But somebody else was number 1.
Trump this year.
Somebody else was number 1. And there was a surprising late addition in my year that got into the top 10 that I never would have guessed. My number 1 was Crosses.
Oh, yeah.
The band Chino Marino from the Deftones, lead singer, one of his side projects. Oh my gosh. I almost brought my daughters to go see those guys in Detroit in February of this year on a weeknight. Like that's how much we all love that stuff. That's some good. If you want some good like 80s synth with like a new twist and it's like it just gets you in the feels, man. Listen to Cross's latest album. Dang, what's it called? Good Night, God Bless, I Love You, Delete. I think is what the album's called. But yeah, that was my top few. But there was one Michigan band that got into, like, the only Michigan band that got into my top 10. I take it back. Carbon Decoy was number 9.
Okay.
Was Glass Chimera.
Oh,
We haven't even interviewed them yet.
right. And we didn't really hear about them
Until like halfway through the year. They only have 4 songs out. So yeah, I spent a lot of time playing those 4 songs. Really, one of them.
Yeah.
1 or 2 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, it was good. It was good stuff. Yeah. So I wasn't terribly surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never terribly surprised, I don't think, but there's every once in a while there's a song that slips in there and I'm like, what? I was listening to that.
I do get interested when it's like has the little transitions to another subject about your year. Like it'll like a little tidbit fact of like what you listen, like something you're like, oh wow, like one of them was like you listened to 8 songs with the word chicken in it or something dumb like that, like a funny thing. And I can't remember any of the funny things, but I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's funny. That's man.
The one I like this
Data.
year, I don't think they've done this before, but they did how you change throughout the year. So like they would do like let's say January you listen to this, and then they would fast forward to a different part of the year when you were listening heavily to something else.
Yeah.
And then you go to how you change, and it's just all about the volume you're. So my top interesting. I've been heavy into the local, but I'll tell you right now, Brother Elsie was all over my top 10.
Yeah.
I had 3 songs in the top 10 by them, and how much I like them. I saw them at the Pyramid Scheme at the end of the year. I'm so glad I went. They played with the American Hotel System and the Atrix. They're a new band out of
The Atrix?
The Atrix.
Like play on theatrics?
No. I don't think so.
Atrix is a word,
I don't know.
you think? Or even if it's not, it's kind of cool. I like
They're a
it.
young band.
The Atrix.
The lead singer is 19.
Dang.
They're pretty young.
A lot of young bands.
But they played for about a half an hour, and I think the American Hotel System played for about a half an hour. And then Brother Elsie played for, I think it was an hour and a half to an hour, 45 minutes. It was a great show. Really enjoyed that show.
Yeah.
They're one of those bands that I'm really, really, really enjoying.
Sorry to interrupt. There was one other Michigan band that made it into my top 10 that was In the Valley Blue.
No surprise.
I could not say that.
Yep.
Sorry, I got something in my voice.
So this was the year of Brother Elsie for me. I also had on there, you okay there?
I don't know.
You need to drink something over there.
Maybe water this time.
Also had couple other local bands. I had Nathan Walton and the Remedy on there, and Overdrive Orchestra, of course. Love their stuff. And Ladder Match actually was on there. I was kind of surprised because we talked to them last year. It kind of carried over. Some national bands I had Dirty Honey, Radiohead, and REM. I don't know why, but Oh My Heart from REM, I caught that on some
Like a movie or
just hit into one of my mixes for a day. I'm like, man, I really like this song.
You know what? That's funny that an REM song came into some of my mixes this year that a song called Tongue.
Yep.
And I don't ever remember hearing it. I'm like, oh, this is a cool song. And I'm thinking, do I need to go back and listen to like some of the like older REM albums that I might not remember, or another band? Like, do I not remember? Like maybe I didn't, because these days we get an album or an album comes out.
Right.
And you're similar to me. We'll probably listen to the whole album, kind of figure out our favorite tracks, but we listened to the whole album a few times. But I think back in the day, like it took me a while before I would do that. It was the opposite. It was like I would buy a CD, skip through it, and if the song was hard, I'd be like, that's a good song. If it was slow, I'd be like, nah, it sucks. So there's only 4 good songs on the CD. The 4 hard songs, and the rest is garbage. I was in 6th or 7th grade or whatever. Then you get older.
You knew what you liked.
Yeah, and then you realize, oh, there's some songs that start off slow, and then they get hard. Oh,
you got to
I was missing out, man.
You got to listen to the whole song.
Oh my gosh, I was missing out.
Yeah. So anyway, it was fun looking through the Wrapped and where we're at, but it's right on though for me for my top artists in Michigan though. Overdrive Orchestra I think is my number one. Which by the way, we've always talked about their album artwork, that like the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Come up with a dragon, all this.
Yeah.
They're coming out with a vinyl. They announced that a few weeks ago for their new album. Super excited for that.
Ooh.
It's like that purple. I forget what's all on it, but it's gonna be
Who are we talking about?
Overdrive.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
The wizard. It's like a skeleton it's like a hooded wizard guy on the latest album. Or no, that's the shirt I have.
No. Well, yeah, it's got.
But it's a newer shirt for the.
Yeah, it is
You're
the
right.
wizard. It is the wizard.
Okay, it is. I couldn't remember if that was
the dragon's on there too.
Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's
fair enough.
It's killer.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
I'm so glad they're coming out with a vinyl.
That's one of my favorite shirts. Like that shirt. I've had more people stop me and be like, "What is your shirt?" Like they don't even know. They don't know it's a band.
Right.
They're just like, "What is it?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "It's a sweet ass band from Grand Rapids."
Yeah, their artwork's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Cheers, Overdrive.
Yes. We gotta get we officially have to interview that band.
Yeah, we've interviewed Chris twice,
Yeah.
but yeah, not the band. I keep thinking we have, but no, we have not.
Yeah, we'll have to get them on.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I'm sure I think we've mentioned it to Chris in the last couple times we've talked. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, for sure. I guess before I forget, the one other show I saw, I went to Speciation Cellars, and
You saw more than one show?
no, but I mentioned the others already.
Yeah, you said the one and only show I saw.
No, the one I haven't mentioned.
Oh, I think you said the one and only show I saw. I was like, oh, what?
Because that's not what I meant.
Good. I might not be able to hear you.
Speciation Cellars. I did see. We interviewed these guys this year. And then I blank on that.
Bronson Arm.
No, we haven't interviewed Bronson Arm.
Oh, no, I thought you said that's where you went to see
the
it.
Ultraviolets.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
So the Ultraviolets and then Bronson Arm was there.
Yeah.
And saw both of them play Speciation. So that was the other show. And yeah.
No, we were just talking about our band shirts. I haven't worn my Ultraviolet shirt on an episode yet, I don't think I have. That'll be next.
There you go.
That'll be next. Sorry, boys. Sorry, Nick. I know you're watching. He probably is.
All right. So what else?
Have you learned how to play guitar yet?
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't tried.
I know.
Do you know I did briefly attempt that in, I think it might have been like 8th or 9th grade.
Ooh.
I borrowed a guitar from a buddy of mine and his amp.
Electric then?
And I didn't have anybody obviously teach me, and I just kind of monkeyed around and I didn't know what I was doing. And that was the only time. Other than the recorder in 5th grade.
The recorder. Oh my gosh.
I have never played it.
We have 2 of those in our house, and I'm sure in the next year we'll have a 3rd.
The recorder.
I hide those so they can't find them and play them after they're actually done using them for school. Man, what an annoying device or annoying instrument that is.
Gotta start somewhere.
Fair
I don't know
enough.
why that's the one.
The drums, man,
easiest.
just
Percussion.
slap on this, like do this instead of the recorder.
Gives you rhythm, baby. That'll help you in your when you go to dances and everything. You gotta have rhythm, man.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're not. I almost said you're not true.
It'll help you be better.
You're
at
not
math.
lying.
It'll probably be better at math because you got to count.
Yeah, I can see it.
I've heard that before. That if you know how to play music or read music, especially percussion, but
that makes sense.
you're better at
for
math,
sure.
Typically,
That totally would make sense to me.
I don't know if that's entirely true, but
I'm sure there's a hand in hand that goes along with that.
yeah,
I'm sure both those things use the same area of your brain or something similar or whatever.
Yeah.
The synapses just are a little bit quicker. Learning that math, learning them.
Speaking of guitars,
Beats.
have you played any of these lately?
Hell yeah, I have some.
Nice.
I actually the red one, the red electric one, has been upstairs for like a month, and there's that little amp over there. I had it up there, and I broke the E string twice in a week, and then I got pissed and brought it back down here.
So you're like Earl.
Yeah, that's my Earl guitar. That's my Earl Mudd from Carbon Decoy guitar for sure. I love that. And I played my black acoustic when I'm down here.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah. Not. I would say I played guitar more this year than I did last year for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
So, and next year I'm hoping to amp that up. I want to create a habit of And I don't care about doing it like just to play.
Yeah.
Mainly it's like campfire or like a couple of people are over and you're having
play a
some
couple
drink.
tunes or
like
something.
doing something like that.
Right.
I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That's really all.
Well, maybe we can get you to play on the show one time.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just have my own show without you and play, and then I'll just make it happen. I'll play right now. This will turn into Ryan's guitar hour. 6 chords.
Bit music unplugged.
Yeah. Yeah, we should totally do that. Dude, we could. Just 1 or 2 acoustics per band or artist. Like, yeah, we totally could do that.
All right, we'll see if we can fit it all in.
I love it. Oh, yeah, we got too much we want to do. But the Michigan music scene, man.
It continues
It does.
to blow me away.
And I feel like the more we get into it, like the more we learn about it, the more interested we get into it. And then it's like, yeah, what else can we do to help? Like, it's not just like, hey, what can we do for content for our podcast? It's like, genuinely, we want to do stuff like
Right. Yeah.
volunteer at local spins or, like I want to somehow, I think if I sign up to volunteer through the Michigan Music Alliance, just in general, you can like, get to work some of the Midtown GR shows, singer-songwriter nights or roundtable nights, just see it for free, but like sit at the merch table or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, the more I hear about cool stuff, the more I just want to get involved for sure.
Yeah, and you were mentioning earlier today that there's a guitar strings company,
GHS Strings in Battle Creek.
Yeah, I mean, there's just constant things we're uncovering, and it's fun because you're right. It's like you're discovering something new, which makes it exciting. If we had, I'll be general, 25 cool bands in the area, in the state, and a few other things, you'd just be talking about the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
kind of boring
for sure.
We're constantly discovering new things, and it's hard. We want to find ways to promote these bands and whatever, or give them exposure, and even like stores, venues, whatever it is that goes into it. I mean, we talked earlier. I'm trying to remember now. It's been such a long year. Was ladder match this year? Or was that last year?
That was this year. Yeah, this was just this year.
Okay,
it's March.
It was earlier this year.
It was spring. Yeah, it was like spring or early.
Because they brought up Bee's Music Shop.
Yeah,
I think that was over
yes,
in the Clare area or something like that, Lansing.
So as we go through our year, like bands will mention things that it's like, oh, we got to take note of this, and I always write down the note somewhere, and then I lose it, and then I'm like, oh, well, it's on the episode. I'll just go back and listen to everything and jot down all the notes. Well, turns out that's going to take a long time. So, well, I guess I could probably get some AI to like look through all the files and pick out the words. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of places or like food or restaurants or this, that, and the other thing that bands have recommended for people to check out. I feel like I got to follow up on that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put together a list.
I've noticed some of them.
Yeah.
But probably not all of them.
I think there's been quite a few.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, I wish I'd have been creating this list. We could share a whole list of, hey, this band recommends this. Like, that'd be kind of a cool, fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll do that for the end of next year. I'll make a point to keep some better notes of that kind of stuff. Because that's fun.
Check out. Yeah, for sure.
Kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. How are we doing on the stream?
Good.
There?
I told you Nicholas Hickox was out there watching.
Was he?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Nick, I called you out about 1 minute before you commented, so maybe you were watching. I don't know.
Good show there at Speciation. I think we got that name right.
Yes.
Well, another one of those pronunciations.
Yeah, for sure.
Why can't everything just be simple?
Like ABC. Every city has a company called A, B, C, all the way to the Z. And you can only have 26 companies in your city. No double up. You can't be AA. Would that be simple enough for you?
We wouldn't have enough. I don't think we'd have enough.
Enough what?
Businesses or whatever, because it'd be very limited.
Yeah, we could just kill off a bunch of people and make smaller towns and cities.
Well, that might not be a bad idea. Smaller.
Did you just not literally
not,
genocide is what he just promoted?
I didn't promote that side of it. But
just kidding.
Scale.
Fair.
Scale. What's the book?
Oh, that Ryan always putting words in people's mouths.
I love the book, and I forget actually who the author is, but Human Scale.
Human Scale is the book?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that's the name of it. I hope I got that right.
So it's about
I've read
scaling
it
things
no, it's
extremely large.
It just talks about making sure everything's at kind of at scale, right? So you can, as a person, only know, like, there's a number around how many people you can actually be connected with and really know them. So, like,
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah,
about, like,
yeah.
company size,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
or even like the size of a town really has to be at a certain level. Otherwise, it gets too big. It's too much out of control. You can't control it. So it's an interesting book because it talks about, it has a lot of numbers in there and stuff about the right sizes, but just kind of keeping things small, not necessarily small,
Yeah.
but the right level.
Does it talk about when things get too big, like the catastrophes that happens, or like in history when things have gotten
No,
too
it
big?
doesn't really go.
Or is it more
talk about-
theoretical? Like,
Yeah, it's not really historical at all.
yeah, interesting. Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean, super freaking boring, but
Yeah, well, that's one of the.
you're more of a
few-
math guy than I am. I
one of
feel
the-
like
it's not really even a math.
I mean,
it's
just in
talking about theory.
it's a
yeah.
date. Like, you're a data guy. I mean, I guess I kind of am too, but you probably mess around with data.
But I wouldn't even call it data.
No?
It's really just about-
life. Ones and
yeah,
zeros is
just
what you
about-
call it.
and it all makes sense to me because that's the way it makes sense. Like, keep it small, man. That's why we like connecting with all these people because we.
Buddy.
So we
Don't I
probably,
know
we
it.
probably can only go so far because then we won't remember everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
There's
yeah.
almost too many bands.
For sure. You got, yeah. Well, I mean, well, man, that's a good question. How many bands have ever existed in Michigan?
Ever?
All of them.
Oh my gosh.
And then you'd have to have a requirement on what is a band, because you can't just be like, oh, these three kids that decided after 10th grade geography class that, hey, we're going to start a band, and then they played together for 13 minutes after school and that's done. That's not a band. So you'd have to have some sort
has
of,
at least recorded music.
I would say has at least, yes, I would leave it at that. I was going to say, or played live in some capacity somehow, but I don't even think that fits.
That would be tough to track.
Because there's so many, I mean, I said so many. There are artists out there that put out music, studio music, and they don't tour ever. They don't play live shows at all. They just put out music.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So, in they're artists, they're bands.
It's easier to track that than it is on who played where.
But yeah, that would be interesting. How many bands have ever existed?
I mean, the thing is, like,
Michigan bands.
current day, I guarantee you there's at least 1,000, if not more.
Yeah, yeah. Amber would probably know. Freaking, I bet you she would know. Maybe
I don't
even
even know if she would know.
no. I mean, a guess. Like, I would be curious what her
guess.
guess would be.
Yeah.
In John Sinkovich, I'm curious what his guess would be.
Right.
Let's start asking people that.
Yeah.
How many bands have ever existed up until today in Michigan? And then, of course, you can toy around with what equals a band, but
you know what?
we'll just say
you know,
they have
Ryan,
to have recorded
I think
music.
this is the perfect time that we need to. We need to be the keepers of the information.
Shut it all down so no one ever gets it?
No. We get the information and we share it with the world. This is the central spot for Michigan music.
It is.
You're going to find all the bands.
I am. I'm going to find the number. I'm not going to find all the names.
No, we're going to find them.
Dude, I'm
All
going to
the
make up a number. No one's going to know. No one's going to know that I made up a number
I'm not
for
talking about
this.
the number. I'm talking about when we find these bands, we log them on our website and everybody can find them.
I was wondering if that's where, if we wanted to talk about that.
No,
for a
I'm just
second.
saying that I think that's where we should go.
Have we kind of
We are.
let anybody else know? We've talked about this a lot.
Yes.
Do you want to talk? I think it's such a cool idea. Making the Mitten Music is. We always say the Mitten Music is a podcast, right? People ask me, "Oh, your podcast name? What's your podcast name? Oh, yeah, you got a podcast? Yeah, I got a podcast. I got a Mitten Music podcast." But if we're gonna get more into this, we peel away the podcast labeled. Like, yes, we have a podcast, but that's not what we are.
Exactly.
We are supporters and promoters of Michigan music in the community around it, right?
Amen.
So there's like so many more things we can do with that. Like,
Oh, I know. Exactly.
oh man, and shoot, I felt like I had something very poignant to say. I lost it, but such is life. Yeah.
So
Uh,
we could. I mean, I guess we could just say, like, if people are interested in that fact that we could put together people today have link trees. They have their own website. A link tree is really kind of that central spot to find everything about one band or one artist. But what if there was a spot to really find
all the bands or as many as possible.
And it's simple, like simple information about that band, maybe some links to, and obviously we have it on our podcast. We could have our podcast link there. But, there'd be links to all their spots. But
Nicholas Hickox says 10,000 Michigan bands.
Right now, current day?
5K at least, then he says 10,000. So I think he's thinking, like I said, of all time, like
that I think
was the first band in 1800. Well, maybe not, because if we're recorded music's actual stipulation, then they didn't record music back then. But like I think he's thinking like through all like since the 50s or 40s or whatever, because it could be quite a frickin' few. Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
We'll just edit this later.
So we'll have to clarify with Nick. Is that what's current day number? Current active bands.
Yeah.
But then there's the bands that are around, the legends, I think it'd get a little crazy to try to find every single.
Oh, it would be you would never get.
A friend of mine told me about a site in, I think it's just focused in Kalamazoo, but like all the bands, it's got like archives of bands that existed back in like in the 90s or something like that. And they have all these bands listed and who was around.
That'd be cool.
But that's only for one general
city.
area.
Yeah, it's like a passion project of someone, it sounds like.
It's almost like a virtual museum for Kalamazoo music.
Which is cool.
Like that, yeah.
But yeah, if we had the spot, if the Mitten Music website was like the place to go to, not only check out the podcast or see what we're doing or if we're doing live shows, but all these bands, not just the bands that we interview, talk about, but all the bands that we don't, because we only have so much time and we don't know everybody. But if they each had their own page on our website that, told about it, like their concert dates, whatever, that's just one more cool thing to do, right?
Yeah.
One more, and then on top of that, there's all sorts of other things.
If you guys got ideas, share them.
Well, the biggest thing for like as I think about this, what frustrates me is that I want to go see a band live. I Google. I'm hoping they have a website. Most of the time they do. Some bands don't. Whatever. Sometimes they just use their Facebook.
Yep.
I've run into a couple of bands that have nothing. And it's like, okay, I can't find out anything about you, but I think those bands are doing that on purpose. That's what they want. Where was I going with this? Like where they're playing live, like on the Sonic Coast when I have to rattle off some Michigan bands. Like I always want to like say the next 3 dates, times, and places in Michigan they're playing. And I look up the band and like nothing on their website. It's just blank, like no upcoming shows.
Well, they might not be touring.
But then I'll go to Facebook and then they might have 1 or 2 or 3 shows. It's like they're updating that, but not this one. And then there's some bands that update them all really well. Yeah. And then I can tell there's some bands that just don't. They're like, whatever. Like for whatever reason. I said that like a negative thing towards them.
No, I understand.
I'm bummed out because it's like, bummer.
It's fragmentation, right? I mean, we supposedly are it's like the knowledge age of society, right? We have all these things at our fingertips, but now there's so many different ways to go find it. You can't find central information. Sure. Even like you talking about concerts, even if you don't know a band you want to go see, you want to see a concert. So Local Spins does a pretty good job. They have concert calendar, right? Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they do. They do a really good job.
But they don't hit all the shows.
Correct.
And part of that's because the venues don't even do a good job of putting all their shows on their site, or it's not easy to find everything, or there's so many venues, once again, to find where to see a show.
That's a whole other section of the website we'll have on there, right?
Right.
All this stuff is cool.
Yeah. So if you can, I mean, I do think it's hard to get all the concerts and to find where you are. But you're right. I mean, why does one band do it here, another band does it this way, it's hard to find when you really care about a band.
And I don't think there's a blueprint for any, like a band isn't like,
right.
A band isn't something you go to school for. Now, granted, you could go to Interlochen, you could be like, Accidentals where they kind of like formed out of this. But that's, I feel like a pretty unique situation. Bands just figure this crap out by themselves unless someone's
their own businesses, basically.
And a lot of times they're figuring it out as they start, as they go, and then they're learning over time. Oh, that was really mistake we made, and we should have done this, or so whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a bummer because you don't have that information that you can just
Get to it. Yeah, easy.
Oh, whatever.
So for bands out there or anybody else in the music industry, if you guys got things that you think we can help you with, let us know.
Things that makes you go,
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
CNC.
Yeah. Music Factory.
That was one of my early tapes.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a radio song for me. I don't think I'd ever buy it. I take it back. I've been
That was
talking.
middle school for me. So I was in this weird stage. So I had Paul Abdul was my first tape.
Oh, awesome.
Then I went to Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction. Then I probably went to CNC Music Factory. Vanilla Ice was in there. Metallica.
Oh,
It was all over the board.
so Guns N' Roses and Metallica was from your brother then?
Guns N' Roses wasn't.
No, that wasn't.
Metallica definitely was my brother.
Yeah.
But that was my figuring out myself and what music I like. The things that go. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like the first, I've been arguing with someone at my work about not arguing, but we've been talking about the first CD we ever purchased with our own money. Not the first CD you had, because you can't say your parents' CDs were yours. The ones that you bought yourself.
Right, yeah.
And you wouldn't believe, we've gone back and forth, oh, I think it was this. But then the next week, no, I don't think it was that. I think it was this. I honestly came to the conclusion, and I am 99.99% sure I have the answer now. The first CD I ever bought was at Blockbuster, the movie rental place.
What?
It was a Blockbuster compilation album of random songs from different movies. It made no sense. I couldn't tell you what was on it. But it was $4.99 or something like that. And I remember my dad saying, "Oh my gosh, that's so cheap for a CD." And I must not have heard him say, "It must be terrible." Because I'm sure he had to said that in the same breath. But I bought it for $5. That was my first CD, I think.
There you go. So you didn't buy? Well, you are a little younger than me. So you didn't buy any tapes?
I didn't. I never purchased tapes. I had many mixed. I had tapes that were recorded.
Did you create some mixes for your girl?
No, so I didn't do mixes. I just copied full side A and B of tapes I wanted onto a new tape, and that's what I had to listen. And I was Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream. I had that on tape. Nirvana, Nevermind, tape. Stone Temple Pilots, Core, tape.
Gotcha.
So those, and they were copies of my buddy's tape, so I didn't actually buy them because I knew CDs were getting in the mix, and I'm like, maybe that's why I'm into technology and how things evolve or whatever. But I was like, I think I shouldn't buy tapes, and I should wait to see if I should buy CDs. But I didn't have a CD player. My dad did, of course. But at that point, I was like, I need to have my own thing.
Right.
So eventually I started buying, just like I did with records, I started buying CDs before I could actually play them. Luckily, I could just go play them upstairs. But then I got my CD player in my room. And
yeah, I mean, tapes weren't long-lived for me. I mean, I probably had, 10 to 15, and that was it. And then went to CDs, and then I went crazy on CDs for a long, long time.
Well, and you had to do tapes because before they put CD players in cars, and they had the tape adapter for your Walkman or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But even before that, there was a period. It's you had to have a tape if you wanted to listen to your own music in your vehicle,
right?
Or an 8-track, I guess.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Do you think I ever made a mini disc player for a vehicle? I bet you they did.
They probably did.
Somebody did. I bet you it's worth a lot of money too.
Yeah.
If someone's got one of those suckers.
What were they called? They were the movies.
Laser discs.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
My uncle had those.
They were bigger than records, but they were CDs.
No, they're
DVDs.
DVDs basically.
But they were huge.
Movies. They were movies, yeah. My
so
uncle was
big.
into those, and he was always kind of on the edge of technology, and so he had a bunch of those.
Did he hate mini discs? They were so small. Well, I guess
don't know if he
mini
ever
disc was more music, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever got into
video.
mini disc, but yeah, in the video, he was big into video. He had a video camera. He was really into that.
Oh, he had a video camera?
Yeah.
He was really into it.
Camcorder.
But yeah, you're talking about 89, right?
Yeah.
Or 92 or
Right,
something.
Yeah, exactly.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
Tell them what we got. We got all these little super expensive little tiny computer cameras that have AI built into them and all this stuff. That's weird.
Exactly.
Whatever.
All right. It's been a good year.
It has. I've been
Really good year.
It's been too busy, man. It's too good. I could take a little less busyness and it still would be good. No, I take it back.
We've actually had a pretty long break here the last
We did.
couple months.
And honestly, I feel like I needed it.
Yeah,
I think that's why I only saw one show in the last 2 months.
So those watching live, we got Rebel Eve's dropping tomorrow. We got Low Face coming later in the month. We'll drop this one as well. And then next year, it's a whole new year. Hopefully a little bit more live, more episodes.
Here's a good little thing I just saw in the comments. What can bands do to help Mitten music? That's a good question.
That's very good.
In turn, how can bands help Mitten music? Mr. Hickok asked that one.
Well,
What could bands do?
I guess I just share our what we got going on. So share our clips, share the things that we're posting out there. Get the word out about who we are. I don't know. That's the first thing I think of.
I would agree. I would also, how do I say this without pissing people off? Post when you're going to play your shows. No. But I think it was back to like in my head, I've been thinking over time, I'm like, man, I wish this band had this I could buy from them. And they just don't have it because they don't have nothing. They got a sticker and a pin. They can't even get shirts.
But how's that really a deal with music?
I know. I was thinking of what I'm after for or like what I want to do for bands. How can I translate that back to me? And someone actually earlier in the comments said, "How can we get Mitten Music swag?" And
We should do that next year.
I mean, I've played around and thought about that a lot.
Yeah.
I do a lot of the artwork for us, and I recently just priced out someone in my family wanted to buy me something Mitten Music printed on it for Christmas or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, if this is how into like t-shirts and what we want to do with this. I was this close to acquiring a t-shirt printing press to put in my garage so we could make our own shirts because I used to work at a t-shirt printing company. That was this close. It all fell apart very quickly, unfortunately. But yes, I think we'll do something. We'll print out something.
Yeah.
I just want to give shirts to like the bands we interview.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to sell stuff
definitely.
too. We need to try to make money somehow, sometime.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's why you're here. Because I don't care about money. I guess I'm making you sound like you're some penny pinching.
greedy bastard.
You're some penny pinching a-hole. No, that's not at all what I was saying. Anyways, were you trying to wrap this up like 10 minutes ago?
It's a wrap.
2024 is a wrap.
But maybe we should change it, find a different word.
Then rap? Other than rap?
Because like
Rock?
Spotify's now done the Wrapped, and they kind of stolen that for the end of the year. Like it's kind of their thing, and I don't know. Think about that, but
Yeah, I will. You as well.
A rap does go into production though. It's a wrap at the end of you doing your production of a movie or whatever. So yeah, I'm glad this year's been great. Season 3, Experimentation. Check out all the episodes if you haven't. Check out our clips.
Yeah.
Check out.
Tell a friend.
music. Tell a friend. Yes.
I would love. Okay, Nick. This is this is the one thing I can say that I would love, and this is partly our fault because we just started doing live streams recently, right?
Yeah.
I would love to have a lot of people be able to watch us live.
I would love that. And it's one thing we talked about for next year. If we could get a steady
Cadence.
schedule of when we will be live and tell people it's a live. We've talked about, could we do a live talk show? Could we do live this, that? Somehow do more things that are live.
Yeah, if you guys notice these interesting chairs we're sitting in, that I'm like, whatever.
Digging them?
I got these little covers for them, but I'm not sure if I put them on right. Anyways, I got like 5 or 6 of these chairs and a couple of these weird tables. So we might have our look be a little different. We might, I think it'll be more comfy. It'll be, I didn't like those couches, man. They didn't do it. I mean, it's look, they're right there, but
Yeah.
Trisha, we need to get rid of these couches for the 100th time.
Yeah, they have their purpose maybe for your family, but
No, they don't.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
Well, for the podcast,
The purpose
I would agree.
is all the kids can have kids spend the night, and then they're like, yeah, the big couch, and we all sleep on it. And
you
that's a
go.
huge disaster in here. No, that's not. I don't like that.
purpose.
I got all my stuff here. They would mess it all up. Kids, man, got to get rid of them. Get rid of them, kids.
No, gotta love them.
Oh, yeah, my kids I'll love.
Nurture them.
Your kids, no thanks. Oh, just kidding. I do really enjoy your kids, honestly. I enjoy all kids. I don't know why I'm trying to be such a curmudgeon. Okay, wrap it up, Jeff.
All right, it's a wrap. 2024 is over. We're on to 2025. It's going to be a great year.
Yeah.
If you like this episode, check out all of our episodes on your favorite streaming platform.
Or even our website, themittenmusic.com.
Or if you want short clips of our episodes, check out our socials.
We got Facebook.
We have Instagram
We got TikTok.
and YouTube.
We're all over the social media game.
Make sure to check out some live Michigan music or listening on your favorite streaming platform.